I think a lot of times memoirs from musicians can end up being so kind of myopic or a little too self-centered in a way because all they really had was their own experience.
Yeah.
And but you know how to get into a band, you know how to research things about a band. And so I think in a way, I think that was the right thing for you to do, is to treat it that way in a lot of ways, because you have that ability, which a lot of musicians don't.
I had a little issue with it even being identified as a memoir. I mean, because I kind of knew that
Right.
there's a certain expectation with a memoir that you're kind of divulging, you know, your kind of personal peccadillos. But I had
Mhm.
no interest. I had no interest in that. I didn't really want to talk about myself at all, But I kind of
Right.
wanted. I just wanted to talk about like this is what happened where I was,
Right.
and this is what,
Right.
and this is how it inspired me and informed me, and it's just like, and I kind of didn't want to get into accolades. I certainly didn't want to get into heavy relationship kind of, writing, and so
Mhm.
obviously, I get asked like, why don't you write about your marriage and your divorce from Kim more explicitly? I was like, because I didn't want to.
Right.
It's not that it's kind of like I didn't I thought about it, but I was like, well, I certainly don't and would not enjoy writing about that. And I don't think it's anybody's business anyway, except for my family's. So it's
Sure.
just like, I don't want to. I don't, it's just like, it's a drag. I think to
Mhm.
even dignify it in any which way, I would have to have something stand alone as opposed to
Right.
trying to shoehorn it into a book that is dealing with so many other aspects. And
Right.
so it would just become sort of pithy. And
Mhm.
so, and it, not something that I think necessitates being any pithy or whatnot. So there's
Mhm.
that, and so,
Mhm.
and I also knew that critically that would have to be a focal point because there's a great power to salient interest when it comes to like memoirs. And so,
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
I love writing. I love reading about people's personal lives and like, the damages and like, yeah, you're
Uh-huh.
going to talk about being a heroin addict for 30 years. Like, yeah, spill it. I'll hear it, like, just but it's like I felt like there's some things I want to share and some things I don't want to share, and what I do want to share is just sort of like I want to share the epiphanies, the joys. I call the first chapter Epiphany, and it just so happens that the first school I go to as a little Catholic boy is called the Epiphany School, of all places.
Right.
So I just like, well, that's it's just going to be all about these epiphanies,